Welcome back to Adri's Homestead Life. Today we are going to make Monterey Jack cheese. I've got plenty milk, so I thought today is a perfect cheese making day. We are gonna be very busy. I'm also keep collecting the past few days some strawberries from the garden, and I think it's time now to make some strawberry jam. Also, because it's the season and it's strawberry, we are going to make Victoria sponge. So let's start with the cheese. I have got 4.5 litre, about a gallon of milk. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use this big pot and I'm just going to pour all the milk. This is full fat, my goat's milk. And I'm going to heat this up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And soon that reaches that 90 degrees, it's very important in cheese making, you know, the temperature. So I love this little stirring temperature. After the reach that 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm gonna put some culture in it. I've got some buttermilk to put in and give it a good mix. Let it sit for about 45 minutes. And after that I'm gonna use animal rennet today. I'm using 2 gallons of milk. I'm using about a 1/4 teaspoon in some water, and I'm going to mix it really well to that milk. And I'll bring you back. The milk is heating. I will keep my eye on it. I've got a few minutes, so we're going to start with the strawberry jam. Today I'm using 4 quarts, so it's about 8 cups of strawberry, fresh strawberry, and I'm going to use 4 cups of light brown sugar and a couple of tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. So I'm going to start to just measure out the strawberries. So I will need 8 cups of strawberry. I will mash this up a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, now 8. Right. The milk reached the 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to pour about a cup, 3/4 of a cup of my culture, buttermilk, give it a good stir, and I'm going to cover this and leave it for 45 minutes. Let's go make the strawberry jam. So I've got this freshly picked strawberry from the garden. I've been picking this the past few days, and I've been storing in the fridge in this quart mason jar. And now I'm ready to make the jam. I collected 4 quart jars of fresh strawberries. It's about 2 kilograms. So I'm going to use the 2 kilograms of strawberries to make the jam today, and I will be using 4 cups of light brown sugar with it and 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. So I'm just measuring it. It's just over 1 kilo. So I think it's just gonna be right, because I would like to get a few, maybe this much out to make a Victoria sponge. So, and then the rest will make like a perfect 2 kilograms what I need for this recipe. So let's just choose what we're gonna decorate the cake with. Just try to choose some of these ones in here. And this is about 1 kilogram in here. This tastes delicious. Right, is that gonna be enough? I think that might be enough. So now I've got the one kilogram in here. Make sure I take all this. Make sure I only use the good one. You know, we don't wanna spoil the gem now. Because some of them I picked these a few days ago. Just go through, make sure they are all good. One. And we're going to mash this up a bit with my potato masher. And now another kilogram, so I'll make 2. It's gonna make exactly 2 kilo of strawberries. Perfect. I'm going to mash this up now with my potato masher. I've got this heavy bottom pot. That's where I'm going to make the strawberry jam today. And when I'm happy with the consistency, you know, you kind of, that will cook down a bit further. But we're roughly going to end up with about 8 cups of mashed strawberries. And then the other half. Good mash. And then when we're happy, I'm going to measure out 4 cups of light brown sugar. I could have gone up a bit higher if you like sweeter your strawberry jam. You can use 6 cups of sugar, but these strawberries are delicious and it's already full of sugar and it's sweet and delicious. So I'm going to use 4 cups of sugar instead of the 6 cups of sugar. Right. And that should make about 8 cups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 8 cup. I'll go and wash this. There we go. Measure out the 4 cups of sugar on the top of the strawberry. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm using organic cane sugar, and then we're going to pour 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Sometimes I use bottled lemon juice, but I use fresh today. And just 1. too. And now give it a good mix and put it on a stove for medium-high heat, and I need to keep my eye on it and stir it probably for a while. We start with 45 minutes and we'll see how it goes. While we're going to stir this, I'm going to put these are the jars I'm going to use to pour the jam in when it's done. I like to put my jars before preservation to the dishwasher, just to the wash cycle, the rinse cycle, and that keeps the jar nice and clean, sterilized and warm. And then to the warm jar, then we're going to put the warm strawberry jam. So 45 minutes gone. Now I'm going to put the rennet. I'm going to mix this really well, 10-15 times, give it a good stir, and then I'll try to stop the motion as quick as possible and not putting any heat back on. This will rest in here like that for another half an hour to 40 minutes. I'm just going to put the lid back on. I'm going to make the Victoria sponge next. So the way I make the sponge, I'll use 4 eggs and I weighed my eggs. These 4 eggs weigh 240 grams. So I weighed 240 grams of sugar, 240 grams of self-raising flour, and 200 or plain flour, or 240 grams of unsalted butter. So I'm gonna do my first step. I'm going to mix the butter and the sugar together. And we're going to add the eggs next. So I'm going to wash these eggs, crack and give it a little mix, and gradually I will be adding this to the mix. After that I will be adding the flour. Before I add the flour, I'm going to put a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt, sieve it through, and I will be adding this to the butter. And I'll keep my eye on the cheese and the jam as well. Multitasking here. So when I'm happy with the consistency of the butter and the sugar, I will gradually add the egg mixture. I like to add the egg mixture for 2 to 3 goes. It all depends. I try to show you here. What does it look like? Looks like nice and fluffy. Yeah, that's nice. So I just a little bit mix the egg mixture together. I probably put a pinch of salt in it. So when I'm ready, I will add a bit more until all the egg mixture has gone. And when I'm happy, I will gradually add. Go and wash the bowl. I like washing along as I'm cooking and baking. Try to keep the kitchen as tidy as possible. So the next we will be adding the flour mixture. In the flour mixture I've got a pinch of salt, a bit of baking powder, already sieved through nicely. And I will add this again bit by bit on a low heat. Just more of a little mix than, you know, a high-speed mix will destroy. So just add a few tablespoons at a time and then give it a good mix. I will be adding some vanilla extract next. I make my own vanilla extract. I'll buy my vanilla pods from Amazon, Tahitian vanilla, and this particular one, what I'm adding at the moment, I've aged this in whiskey for a couple of months. And let me tell you, it tastes delicious. I use this in ice cream, especially in my Victoria sponge recipe. So add in a bit more flour and mix it again. So we're just going to do this until all the flour mixture is gone. I'm just going to probably wash my hands again now. I'm showing you what it looks like, nice and fluffy. Yeah, that's okay. So next, I would like to show you how my other project's going. Give a good stir for the strawberry jam. I use a heavy bottom cast iron enamel pot. Okay, happy with that. I've got a thumbs up there. I have happy. Go back to the Victoria sponge making. So add a bit more flour. Oh, I think I finished it all off now. So we're going to loosen up with a couple of tablespoons of goat's milk, the butter, and now this is the last stir on a slow. And when all the butter nicely cooperates, then the mixture is done. I'm taking to the sink, wash the plates.
The cake batter is ready.
So now it's done.
I'm going to divide this beautiful cake mixture into 2 cake tins. I've got parchment paper. I love using this one. You can buy this, you know, ready, pre-cut, and I'm just going to put half of the one tin, half of the other tin. I've already preheated the oven, 170 degrees Celsius, and we're going to bake this for about 25 minutes. And then you can decorate the cake then. Just roughly turn this around like that. The
other one. I'm going to put this in the oven. And keep stirring that strawberry. Still a bit more to go. And then we're going to check if our cheese is set yet, so we can cut it. Try to use up all. And we can just wash this up now. Right. Smells delicious. Let's check if the cheese is set. Yeah, now we're going to cut it. After I've cut this cheese, I let it rest to 10-15 minutes, and now I've turned the heat on low. I'll probably even turn it lower because it's even on 3. And we're going to heat this back up for 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Very gently we're going to stir and cut it for smaller pieces. Try to get it even. And I'm going to stir this for half an hour. And within that half an hour, we're going to bring this up to this 100 degree Fahrenheit temperature. You know, if it's very close, like I'm very close now, I might even turn it off. Because we don't really want to reach that 100 degrees really quick. Keep stirring this for half an hour until I reach the right temperature. So I am now very close to reach that 100 degrees Fahrenheit with this cheese making process, and the next step is to pour some of this whey of that cheese, about 4 cups. I'm going to use some up to soak the cheesecloth in, so it won't stick to the mold. And then we're going to, that is now just reached, so I'm going to turn the heat off. And the cheese, the strawberry jam is nicely bubbling. We get in there slowly, and our cake is ready. Let's go and have a look. But yeah, so our next step is now we are wait for a few minutes to sink, and then we're gonna come back to it. Let's take that cake out. You can hear it in the background, the dishwasher. The jars are now nicely
sterilizing in a dishwasher.
Right.
Fingers crossed that this is done. I'm just going to put the cooling rack. I'm gonna poke this. That comes clean. Should be alright. So we let this now to rest in a cooling rack for a couple of hours. And what we do next, using this colander, we're going to pour that cheese off. So now we put this back on stove and we're going to pour over 4 cups of cool water and bring this back up again for 100 degrees Fahrenheit. That won't take long now. And after that we are going to leave or keep this curd, or try to keep it around that 100 degrees Fahrenheit for another half an hour. So as you can see, it's already on 94, it's nearly back in 100. That won't take long. And then probably I'm just gonna turn the heat off and put the lid on. So our curds are now done. So I just pour this way off it, and we're going to put the salt, massage the salt in it, a couple of tablespoons, and then we're going to put it in our mold. And then I'm going to swap it after half an hour, and then after an hour, and then I leave it overnight, and I'll show you our lovely cheese, goat's cheese, tomorrow.
Right, our cheese is in our mold. And now I'm just going to position and turn it down as far as it goes. And then I just leave it to it. I will be turning this cheese 3 times. So 15 minutes time we're gonna take it out of the mold and flip the cheese over, and then in half an hour time, and then in an hour time, and then we leave it for overnight. So that's done. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to check on the strawberry jam. It's thickening up nicely. I think it's nearly done. It's 2 hours now. We are stirring this on medium heat. I think we are ready to jar. Our strawberry jam it is ready. We are ready to fill these jars. I've got a big pot with full of water boiling now, because we're going to water bath can this strawberry jam. So I've got the warm jars straight up out of the dishwasher. And goes the warm jam. Leave about 1/4 of an inch headspace each jar. Put the lid on, fill these jars, put the lid on, and I'm going to put them in the water bath can. Wait till it comes back boiling. I'm gonna process it for 10 minutes. And after that 10 minutes, I will turn the heat right down. I will wait another 5 minutes, and then we'll be removing the jars and just leave it on tea towel till tomorrow. And our strawberry jam is ready to store. Let's see how many jars we made. Remember, we've started with 2 kilograms of fruit, and that will give us a couple of jars. Okay, the jars are filling up nicely. You can hear the water is boiling. I'm going to leave this jar. You can use it up with our Victoria sponge just made today. Alright, so we've made 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 jars. The 4th jar will go to the water bath can, and I leave this 1 jar. We can use it, fill it up our Victoria sponge, and we just can use it up in the next few days on toasts or something. Okay. I'm just going to dump a little bit of water on this kitchen towel. And just go around the rim, make sure it's haven't spilled anything. No, we don't want to spoil this beautiful jam. It is delicious, by the way, I've tried it. So, finger tight, 4 jar beautiful jam. Go. It's very warm. I've got this jar lifter the way around and then you put this in the water. Really? So we put all the 4 jars in pan. Make sure they are submerged, they are on the water and it is boiling. So I can start, you know, the timer for 10